Hey, and welcome to youtube.com/JeepersReaper. It's a tutorial training website towards Kakos Reaper digital audio workstation. This is a short tutorial about inserting audio track and a little bit about the audio track. So let's get started. If you're wondering about my theme, is a little different in this one. I changed it. You'll see a tutorial coming after this one that'll teach you about themes and the importance of the kakos.com form. So you come up to this area right here where you see my arrow. You can either double click, left double click, or right for insert track. You can either insert new track, an audio track will show up. It's how easy, or double click, as you can see. I'll leave them both there, it's fine. Nah, I'll take one out. As you can see, everything's at a right click, so remove track. Alright, when you come up to the track, that's how easy it is to insert a track. We'll go a quick overview of this track. A very important function on this track is the arm button and disarm for recording. As you can see, my voice is there. That's in input 1. You can come up here and left click on to input 1, and I have two inputs on this audio interface. I can either do one stereo or two monos, and then my midis. So that's arm. It has to be on to record. I could actually record right now, which you just push record and it'll record your voice that quick. Delete all. Okay. So that's the arm function. Come down here, this is your monitoring. This button right here has three phases: monitor, auto monitoring, off, and on. Okay, this is your input to this track, your in button. And if your interface is different, the buttons are about the same. They may be a little different, but if you can't see it, you can stretch the track out up here on the side where my arrow is. I'll show you that. This is your monitor inputs. You go down here, once again, there's your inputs like before. Alright, this is your meter right here of your voice. It tests, whatever, how much decimals is coming out. So this is your volume, the volume of the track, how much you want in it. If you double click on the knob, it goes back to 0. Same thing with pan right, pan left. Double click on it, goes back to 0. Come up here, there's your solo button. It will solo only this track. If you had a bunch of tracks and push this solo, of course this is the only track that will be played. Your mute button, if you want to mute. These two buttons are very important in mastering at the end of your song. Mastering is going to take a few tutorials, but quick overview. This is your phase, normal phase. I'm not directly sure. I've never used this button. I guess I could get you a technical term for it, but if you know, let me know. So many functions in digital audio workstations, but very important FX button. Two windows are going to pop up. You have this window, which is where your tracks are, how many you got in there, and this is the list of your tracks. Everything from VSTIs to Rewire for Reason to your AUs, audio units for us Mac users. And your effects change and stuff you set up and all that, and your favorites, and so it pretty much takes everything. There's a few bugs on a few plugins, but just report it to Kakos, they'll figure it out. Your envelope button, definitely important. There's all your envelopes. You can put them from volume to pan, and I'll go on that in volume. What else? It's not in that one, but there's a tempo one too. You have to do that on master track, but I'll go into envelopes and automation in another tutorial. This is your sends and receive. This is for doing bus tracks, auxiliary tracks. You can use this for MIDI, some MIDI things, but you can add new sends to all tracks. But in Reaper, you just make the same track I just made and make this an auxiliary track. This will never have any loop functions in the sense of a waveforms in it or MIDI, but what it'll be is an effect track. It's that easy, and then I just come in here putting effects on it. I'll go on that in another tutorial, and that becomes a bus, and it's right in front of you. And it'll also be down here, and you just right up here another part is when you come up here, is you want to write in there. You double click on it and say, I want to say this is guitar track. You just type it in, and there you go. And it's always good to do that, and you can stretch this whole area out if you want to stretch out your things or shorten them up. I don't keep them short. I want to see all my buttons. And this is your folder, track to track folders. I'm going to that in another tutorial. All this stuff I'm going to go into. This is just basic overview of the audio track.